Well, hello everybody. This is Steve at 1000 Year Home. So my deal is trying to build a house that'll last 1,000 years, and I'm using modern materials. These 2 shipping containers mixed with ancient materials, which will be earth bag. So I've been working on it about a year and a couple of months, 6, 8 months. And so I'm inside that front room for the winter, but I need to move my field shower from outside to inside because Texas does get cold, y'all. And it's cold to wash your hands, cold to wash your face. So I'm going to move my shower inside as well as my hand wash station. So what do I have here? What I have here is I have a 2-panel cast iron kitchen sink sitting on an old Singer sewing machine. And then I have a full-up bathtub that I'm going to turn into a shower using that Coleman hot water on demand portable hot water. So if I put propane on that, I'll be able to get hot water out of that. So today, what I want to get done is I want to get done the bathtub plumbing into a bucket that I'll use for my gray water, and I'll water my garden. And I've got 4 trees planted out there, so they need 5 gallons of water a week. And even though they're dormant, so I'm going to water it with that. I'm going to use all natural soaps, of course, which I do anyway. And then my water station will be here. There'll be 1 5-gallon jug of water here, and then my hand wash station, and those will both, the one sink will vent into the bathtub, which will go into my bucket, and my bucket will be used to water my garden. That way I can heat the inside here and still shower, because I have drywall and insulation to do as well as foundation. And those are really dirty jobs, and this time of year where there's limited light, it's dark by 5 o'clock-ish. I'll need an indoor shower so that I feel motivated to do the work, because being dirty and cold and, it's too much for me to want to do all that. So anyway, let's get working on this I'm going to start with the bathtub first. The other neat thing about being on that sewing machine stand is I can wheel it right like that. Now that cast iron sink's every bit of 150 pounds. I got all my plumbing fixtures. Well, I hope I have everything. I went and bought just a regular, generic Schedule 40 PVC drain, which I'll drain down into a temporary hole. So all this will be just dry fit in there because this is just a workshop right now. I'm still living out of my pop-up trailer. I got a sea toilet, but this will at least get my field shower moved in. And these will be dry fit because I have to raise this container up, finish the foundation under it, and lower it back down. So there'll be I don't know what my grade is yet to do my final plumbing, is what I'm saying. So, but anyway, so the bathtub will drain into this. This will drain in at an angle down to a bucket. And then since I'm using a 5-gallon here, I'll use a 5-gallon bucket out there. When this is full, that'll be full. I'll know to dump it out. Pretty easy. But it's all in the doing. So let's do the doing. I've been storing this for about a year. It needs to be swept out and cleaned out a bit before I even start. Texas is, I'll tell you, one dusty state. Compared to what I grew up in, Michigan, Texas is way dusty. When the dust gets real thick too, and it blows in from the Sahara Desert. In fact, the Bahama Islands exist entirely because of the Sahara Desert sand that blows in. The Bahama Islands get enough nutrients from specifically iron that the coral can grow and keep those islands up. But when I get that Sahara dust blowing in on me, it's hard for me to breathe. I can feel that particular dust when it's blowing in here. And everything that's in here is most likely Sahara dust. This 2 years of drought. Well, Texas soil and Sahara dust. It's one and the same thing, probably. Yeah, I see some sawdust in here too. Get that carpet a little bit straightened out. I'm hoping I don't have to cut a big hole in it, but I don't care if I do have to cut a hole in it. Alright, the carpet is definitely over the top of that. I'm going to try to move it first and when I drill that hole. So, but I'm not afraid to cut these. These aren't exotic rugs. They're not expensive rugs. You know, they've already, well, they're in a construction container, right? So, it'll be alright. It'll be alright. Well, trying to fold around it just makes a bunch of pinches. So I'm officially going to wreck a rug. All you women out there will have to jointly cry out in pain as I do this. But it's a rug. It's a beautiful rug, but it's seen better days, and it's in a construction stone, so its purpose is this purpose. It has run its course. All right. All right, so I want to get this close to center here, and see, I've got this tree. Let me raise it up a little bit. This is about where the tub will be. So I want to change it into about to exactly where the tub will be. So this tree here is the actual center of the container. It's the 40-foot container, and this is 20 feet right here. So I want the 20 feet to land on the tub outlet. So now I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to eyeball this to that, and I'm still a little off. And if I end up landing on a joist, I'll shift it a little bit. But it doesn't look like I will. Alright. So what I'm doing is looking at this curve and that post, and this curve and that post, and oh, I might get a square and check it with a square. Just eyeballing it. So it's alright, just touching it. Yep, so that's where we're at. I'm happy with that. I'm just gonna sprinkle some drywall dust down in there. That ought to show me where the hole is. Well enough. Alright. It did. It left a little ring of drywall dust. So the next thing is for me to take this hole saw and find what hole I need. And if I'm going to use the last ring to give this just a little bit of wiggle room. So let me take those out. I don't know if you have an old-fashioned saw like that. I like antique tools. I do. I go into the antique stores and I buy them if they're cheaper than I could find them at Lowe's. And indeed, I do find brand new, in fact, old new stuff. Like the blade on this is still razor sharp. And oh, I don't know how old it is, you know. And right there, that align all the holes saws. See, and there's whole bunch of them in there, and if I had a screwdriver, that would be the right way to get that done. All right, and that one I'm going to use, and then these will all come off. The only disadvantage to this is you have to put it back the same way. that when you're done, you got to put all those in. So there you go. And then I'll grab the original one that I was keeping. That thread's in there. both ends. See, it's got a pilot hole on it. See that little pilot hole in there? So then you line up the pilot holes where the pins go. And I know this one's old. I think this is my father's. So I got some of his tools. I don't make that many holes, to be honest. If I was making ruinous holes, I buy something else, because I do think that this is my father's hole saw. So, let's see. He was born 1907, I think. He would have been over 100. So this would have been from the 40s or 50s, probably. All right, let's cut some holes. Now that you can get the vibe, so this will be the little catch bowl that will catch the effluent. And, then I'll have the piping go through there, and this will be in the bathtub, of course. And off it'll go. And that'll be just fine. I'm not going to glue it up yet because I want to use the pieces correctly. So I'm just going to put them together and put tape around them, gray tape. Now that's not plumbing. That's a field shower. And no big deal because I monitor it, and 5 gallons is what I'll have. 5 gallons will be in the bucket. So, but eventually I need to get a septic in here, which I will as soon as I shut down the pop-up camper. Right now it's just a workshop with some amenities. My redneck senses are tingling. Tingling, boys and girls. Now, in case you aren't listening and you're going to put down ugly comments about that ain't plumbing in a comment, I've told you already, this isn't level. So I don't know what plumb will be. And I don't want to lose the cost that I put into PVC pipe. It's expensive now. So I know that Gorilla Tape's no big deal, but this is not a pressurized system. This is not a permanent structure. And this will just get me a field shower that I can heat inside. The other thing is, ultimately, I have to be able to move this bathtub out while I'm doing construction to put down the flooring as well as finish the drywall. So this, I can't plumb this in all the way anyway because I have to scooch everything out of the way. So that looks pretty darn good in my book. Clean that up. Look at that carpet under a bathtub. Woo, that ought to make everybody happy. Gross. Nah, it's not. Looky there. And then I'll put this in the bathtub and tighten it down. Well, I'm going to have to destroy one piece of plumbing here. I don't need this elbow, so I'm going to cut it off right there. Right there. And then I'll screw it on and use the compression gasket to, hold a little seal right now. That's all right. The water will run in and drip down. That's perfect. Let me get that cut real quick. All right, so then that will screw into the bathtub like that and make a little gasket for me. And then it'll drip into there, and when I'm done, I'll throw away the rug, and it won't matter anyway. But for now, it gives a little insulation for my feet as I come and go. And let's go ahead and get that all done. This is when my shake really gets in the way. Alright, come on now. Alright. Well, that feels pretty darn good. Oh, that's right on there. Not bad for a gas. Look at here. Not too bad, huh, Internet? You see down in there? Let me zoom. You can see that I hit that pipe straight on. I'm pretty darn happy. All right, my horses are up to eat. I'm going to feed them. I'm going to do this, finish running that piece of pipe, and I think then I'll be out of light. So we'll find out by then. All right, you old mules, you up for dinner time? All right, sunset. Time to eat, huh? Get to your spots, please. All right. Thank you. Blaze, I'm going to need you to bring that bowl around right here. When you see this bowl just laying there, I need you to bring it right here for me. Can you do that? Don't knock over my thing. Hey, Blaze. Blaze, get to your spot, please. Come on now. I will not feed you if you need to misbehave like that. You'll just watch old Hank eat. That's all you'll do. No reason for that. Now we've been doing this for long enough for you to knock that off. You hear me? I don't like it. You get your food without being a fool. No reason for it. I'm going to give extra to Hank just because you was naughty. How do you like them apples? I know he was a naughty horse. Just doesn't have your charm, Hank. Alrighty. Alright, boys, enjoy your dinner. I got work to do now. Alrighty, let's wrap this thing up. I'm losing daylight. Oh, I don't know. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. Hey, there it is. I can see better than you can. I'm going to measure that out and then cut a pipe just right for that. Once again, evening time has caught up to me. Let me, got all the plumbing in. I've got a couple of gallons of rainwater in an old bucket here. Let me do a little testing. I put 2 gallons of water in here. I should get 2 gallons of water out there. I can hear it draining. Unscrew that. Keep an eye on that for now. All right. A little rinse here. All right, that looks good. Wipe it down with a paper towel. All right. Well, that does not look half bad. Let me check outside and do a little bit. Yep, there we go. Perfect. I'm gonna check my carpet and see if it's wet. See the beauty of how I did this? When I go to tile or anything like that, oh, it's dry. Good deal. Good deal. And if that water, whoop, I can't see in there anymore. Well, maybe now it's not dry, but that felt pretty good. That looks pretty clean. So I've got my temporary construction lights on in there. This construction looks darn good, doesn't it? Really got a promise to it. Let's go outside and run some more water in that. I'll line that up, make sure it fits. Then I'll make sure I like how it's running in the bucket. Well, once again, I chase sundown. There it's gone. I see a little sliver of orange right there. So, but what did I get? I got my goals done today. So after I got done with work, I got the bathtub roughed in. I cut a hole through that 1-inch thick plywood. That took me a little while and more than a little frustration. And fortunately, my dad had 2-hole saws, so I went and got the one that was deep throat, and then it went right through and cut through that deep core. Tested the bathtub. Now, again, it's not final plumbing. So those that are going to type code in there, of course we know it's not. This is designed so that I could pick this bathtub up at a moment's notice and move it, which you demonstrated that I can. I'm going to put some tape marks on the floor, draw on the floor so I know where to put it back next time. But a little bit of work to do tomorrow when I can see. And the water runs out just like it needs to. So I'm going to get set up tonight. I'm going to get set up that sink behind me, and because it doesn't quite measure up where I want it, so it needs some boards under it. So I'm just going to lay that out, get that ready for tomorrow. But the daylight's gone, and I'm going to call it an evening and make myself a little bit of a dinner. You like off-grid construction? That's me. If you like homesteading, that's me. Like, subscribe, follow me along. Bye.